What's up, friends? This is a little different than our normal videos. I'm Gacha J. This is your home for Gacha news, analysis, and reviews. I wanted to do a really quick video on the future night release that just got announced. This isn't a formal review. I just want to look at the abilities and talk about it. I've seen a lot of people say that she's OP, she's broken, and I think it's kind of conditional, okay? Don't get me wrong, this has all the potential to be bonkers, but it also has the chance to not be very viable at all. And we need to look at this and truly understand what's happening. So let's break it down. So this was the primary image that we were given, and let's look at it really quickly. A one-handed sword, shield, two-hand sword, bow, rifle, accessory user. Normal attack, machine gun, shoots a rifle in rapid succession to attack enemies. Princess amulet negates the damage of one hit for 3 seconds. Chain skill, Magaton grenade, forms a Magaton field to inflict 370% of DPS around the target. And then the reinforced bullet, rifle, normal attack, penetrates the enemies. And I have it on another screen here, thanks to a good friend in the Discord named Johnny. And the second part is that it reduces their basic defense by 20%. In a party skill of a weapon skill, regen speed of 30%. Overall, guys, this is kind of interesting to look at. The first thing that I want to point out to you is the attack stat here at 906. That's actually lower than Drunken Lyn, and Drunken Lyn's attack stat is already pretty low in comparison to others. When everything is said and done. So it's important to note that you're looking at all of the other amplifiers to the damage output to really see where it's going. The 20% that's coming from the basic defense down is a good indicator that it can be pretty strong. The crit chance at 5% is pretty normal. So you could be running a crit type of build with it if you wanted to as well. On the surface here, that weapon skill regen speed is really important of its indicator for you of what to expect from this character. This character lives and dies by 2 scenarios. The first scenario is being that her weapon skill is just bonkers and it's something you want to use all the time. And the second being that you actually want to use her as a booster for someone else on your party. Someone like a future princess or a Eugene, someone whose weapon skill, the activatable itself, is game changing. It can change the turn of a Coliseum or the map or something as a whole. But if her weapon skill isn't all that good, or the animation itself is a problem, you could see that this unit actually loses a lot. So let's go ahead and look at the weapon itself. So here we have the weapon. The image that I was given, I do not see the true DPS at the top, but at the end of the day, that doesn't truly matter for the way that you would run this. I would imagine it is in line with a lot of the other options that you have. The main thing we're looking at here is the skill information on the right-hand side. That's why I moved the webcam up. We call Magaton Overheat, attack of 180% DPS, which is okay. Regen time is 6.5 seconds, which is fine because you're reducing it pretty rapidly. Shoots out Magaton energy at full capacity to inflict damage around the target and puts them in a down state. So the skill itself isn't doing anything. It's not changing anything. It's putting them in a down state, which can impact a lot of things, especially if you're chaining skills into things like that. That actual weapon skill itself isn't notable. It's not going to change anything. I'm imagining that the overheat is going to lock her in place because she's carrying a big old minigun. And if you're putting it into a state of overheat, that means it's firing very rapidly. If for any reason that my assumption or my hunch is true, that it's reducing her and it's limiting her movement speed in any capacity whatsoever, I think that this character actually will see a withdrawal in arena unless the attack stats are absolutely bonkers outside of it. The Future Night only passive on this weapon is on hit, Magaton energy explodes by 30% chance to inflict 50% of DPS and reduces the target's weapon skill regen speed by 30% for 2 seconds, 1 second cooldown. That 30% chance to inflict 50% of DPS and reduce the target's weapon skill regen speed by 30% for 2 seconds, okay? I know I just repeated all of it again, but that's very big, okay? That 30% to inflict 50%, that 30% to inflict 50%, you can kind of think of as closer to like just a flat 10% attack buff. It's really not that crazy unless you're getting Well, there's also 40 bullets in the magazine, so if each one's applying, it's definitely going to feel like just a flat 10% attack speed. There's absolutely nothing in this weapon and the kit that really makes me go, wow. Again, remember the thing about weapon skill regen is that only one person on the opposing team gets to use a weapon skill, and there's a handful of weapon skills that truly change the tide of a battle, especially in something like Coliseum. Now, in Arena, it's slightly different, but you're really looking to be limiting weapon skills of the opposing person that puts you into a stun state. Someone like Future Princess does massive AoE damage, someone like Eugene. Those are the type of weapon skills that you really want to target with something like this. And overall, that skill information with the Megaton Overheat doesn't suggest that that's something that I want to constantly have up, especially if it limits her ability to move around the map. I truly think off of all of this right here, my hunch and my assumption is that she will probably be secondary, and you're going to use her in a semi-cheese comp for someone like a Future Princess or a Eugene. I'm going to those two too, because those are the two activatable weapon skills that really that just do a ton, okay? Or even like a Gabriel to constantly be getting that heal on top of you would be really strong as well. I think that is primarily going to be what you see her ran in, and the actual animation itself of the Megaton Overheat will completely define in my eyes if she's an Arena user or not. So be on the lookout for that. I just wanted to discuss this. It doesn't automatically mean that she's broken, that we're seeing these weapon skill regen speeds come into play. Remember, the weapon skill itself is generally, like the DPS attached to the weapon skill is generally attached to the animation length. So increasing the rate in which you can do the animation doesn't really matter if the DPS output isn't changing, and if the skill itself isn't changing the state of the game. The animation of this Megaton Overheat is the defining factor in how broken this character is. So be on the lookout for that. Again, I'm Gacha J. Thank you for being here, Guardian Tales. And be sure to hit that like, subscribe, and leave me a comment below what you want to see. Peace.